So we had a lot of really good action on Saturday. Let's see what's on the table for Sunday. Coming up next. Yo-ho everybody, and welcome to another edition of YinzerOnHockey. Before we begin, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, click the subscribe button, and make sure you click that little bell so you stay up to date on all your NHL news. Today we had 12 games on the NHL slate, pretty full day around the league. It got started yesterday in Sweden with the Edmonton Oilers taking on the New Jersey Devils. This one was as high scoring as I suspected it would be. A lot of questions for both teams as far as goaltending goes. New Jersey got the win 5-2. They got 2 goals from Kyle Palmieri and 2 goals from Travis Zajac, as well as Neeson getting the other goal for them. Edmonton got goals from Milan Lucic and Leon Draisaitl, 2 assists for Connor McDavid, so he getting off to his statistical start that we most expected him to have. Next game was the Winnipeg Jets versus the Dallas Stars. There's a few guarantees in the world. Death, taxes, and Winnipeg beating Dallas. But wait, Dallas had different plans. They win this game 5-1. Winnipeg got a goal from Kyle Connor. Dallas goals from Radulov, 2 from Seguin, and 2 from Ben. And Ben Bishop off to a really good start. I think he's only allowed 1 goal on the season so far, so really good start for him. Next game on the slate was the New York Rangers against the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo finally got the wheels turning a little bit. They win this game 3-1. 2 goals from Connor Sherry, a goal from Jack Eichel, and New York's goal coming from Howden. So good bounce-back performance from Buffalo after their disappointment in Boston the other night. Next game on the slate was the Ottawa Senators against the Toronto Maple Leafs. This game shocked me a little bit in the fact that Ottawa's got some offensive potential. Led by Chabot with 2 goals. David DeMello had a goal, Mark Stone with a goal, as well as Chris Tierney. Tierney, I think, come over as part of the Erik Karlsson trade, so maybe that trade's paying some dividends both ways. Toronto, the goals from them came from Morgan Rielly, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner. So, I don't think it's time to panic yet in Toronto. It's only 1 game, but Ottawa, maybe there's some bright spots there. Next game on the slate was the Florida Panthers against the Tampa Bay Lightning. This game needed overtime and a shootout to finally decide a winner. Tampa Bay wins 2-1. The regulation goals coming from Cirelli for Tampa Bay and McDonald for Florida. Florida had really dominated the possession game early on in this one. It took a few minutes for Tampa to get their feet under them. But it looks like they're going to be a very good team for the year, as well as Florida. Florida looks very good as well. Next game was the Nashville Predators against the New York Islanders. Lots of goals in this one, 7 of them. Nashville nets 4, wins the game 4-3. Arvidsson with a couple of goals here. Ekholm and Smith are the other goal scorers for Nashville. For the Islanders, Barzal finally gets on the score sheet, as well as Valtteri Filppula, and Anders Lee gets his first goal as the captain of the New York Islanders. Next game on the slate was the Montreal Canadiens versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. This one was a blowout and not the way most people expected it to be. The Montreal Canadiens dominate this game, winning 5-1. Goals from Gallagher, 2 from Byron, 1 from Armia, was a shorty, and Hudon gets the final one. The goal for Pittsburgh come from Riley Sheahan. Got an assist from Christopher Letang, and that makes Chris Letang the highest scoring defenseman in Pittsburgh Penguins history. So, Pittsburgh's still having a lot of trouble skating in their own zone, not able to get the pucks out, and that could prove costly down the road if they're not able to get their transition game going and able to get out of their own zone. Next game on the slate was the Chicago Blackhawks against the St. Louis Blues. This one had all the goals. 5-4, Chicago wins it in overtime. Jonathan Toews nets his 5th career hat trick. Other goals from Chicago was Patrick Kane and Kruger with the other goal for St. Louis. Parayko, Tarasenko, another one from Tarasenko, and Butler. So Tarasenko gets 2. Next game on the slate was the Vegas Golden Knights against the Minnesota Wild. This was a good one, back and forth, very defensive game. Great goaltending on both ends of the ice. Disappointing for either one of these teams to have to lose this game with as good as the goaltenders played, but the final was Vegas 2 and the Minnesota Wild 1. That game went to a shootout to decide the winner. The regulation goals came from Max Pacioretty for Vegas and Matt Dumba for Minnesota. So a couple of the guys that got big contracts this offseason coming up big for their respective teams. Next game, Arizona Coyotes against the Anaheim Ducks. This game was in Glendale. And Arizona still cannot get anything going offensively. They are still scoreless on the season. Anaheim wins this one 1-0. Goal coming from Comtois. That's his 2nd of the year. So that rookie is looking very, very good for Anaheim right now. I don't think many people expected him to have this big of an impact this early on, but he looks very impressive so far. That's his 2nd goal on the season. Again, Arizona just not able to get on the score sheet, not able to solve the opposing goaltenders yet. John Gibson was phenomenal. Saw some highlights from this game. He's made a lot of really nice saves, and he's going to give Anaheim a chance to win every night. Next game on the schedule was the Philadelphia Flyers visiting the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado, man, their offense is looking as good as they played defensively last year, and they are well on their way to getting back to that level that they were at last year. They win this game 5-2 against the Flyers. Goals for the Flyers coming from Couturier and Vorobiev. Colorado goals came from Wilson, Comfer, Landeskog, another one from Wilson, 2 for him, and McKinnon gets the final one, the empty netter for Colorado. Colorado looks really good right now. Varlamov picks up his 2nd win of the young season. They've got depth at goaltending. Their defense is really good, and now it looks like they're able to score in bunches. Colorado could be a threatening team this year. Final game on the schedule last night was the Vancouver Canucks visiting the Calgary Flames. This was the back end of that home-and-home series that started the other night. It was very physical the other night. Last game not as dramatic as far as the post-whistle antics are concerned, but both of these teams lit up the score sheet in a big way. The final here was Calgary 7, Vancouver 4. Elias Pettersson gets 2 more goals and an assist for 3 points. This kid is really starting to put his stamp on the Calder Trophy. He is having a phenomenal year so far. It's only 2 games in, but he definitely looks like he's floating just a little bit above the rest of the rookie crowd right now. Other goals for Vancouver was Brandon Sutter and Bo Horvat finally getting on the score sheet for Vancouver. For Calgary, Lindholm had 2. Giordano, Gaudreau, Monahan, Zarnik, and Frolic were the other goal scorers. Frolic was the shorthanded empty netter at the end of the game. So, yeah, Calgary net 7. They finally get their power play going a little bit, too. There were some struggles early on in the last game trying to figure out their power play, but they did get it going last night. So we'll see if they're able to keep that going here for the duration of the season. Coming up today, we have 3 games on the slate. The New York Rangers will visit the Carolina Hurricanes. Rangers played last night, so likely they'll be starting their backup goaltender here. Carolina had the night off last night, so they'll be rested, waiting for them. Interested to see who Carolina decides to throw in net, because McElhaney was very good for them the other night, and he might challenge Mrazek for that starting job until Scarlett Darling comes back and is healthy. For me, I think I'm going to take Carolina here. The extra rest, the backup goaltender for the Rangers. I'll take Carolina 3-1 in this one. Next game up, Toronto Maple Leafs coming off of that disappointing game against Ottawa last night, against the Chicago Blackhawks, coming off that emotional big win over the St. Louis Blues last night. We'll see if they're able to keep that momentum going. For me, I like Toronto in this game. Give me Toronto 3-2. Final game on the slate, late game, the Detroit Red Wings will go to the Staples Center to visit the Los Angeles Kings. Both of these teams are winless on the year, both losses coming in overtime for them. I think Jonathan Quick played really well against San Jose the other night. I look for him to keep that going. Give me Los Angeles 2-1 in this game. That's it for tonight. Really short slate tonight, only 3 games. Busier night tomorrow night, I'm sure. But yeah, we had a pretty good day picking games yesterday. We were 7-5. So hopefully we can keep that positive momentum going. Let me know what you guys think of the picks in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Follow me on all the social media listed in the description below. And until I see you next time, have a good day.